My name is David Thompson. Welcome to Top 10 Emotional Comeback.
I wasn't supposed to be home until 6 in the evening. It was 2:47 when I pulled into the driveway. The front door was unlocked. That was the first sign. Emma always locked it. Always, even when she was home. Please like this video and listen to my story till the end, and let me know which city you're listening from. That way, I could see how far my story has traveled. I pushed the door open slowly. Emma? No answer. I walked through the living room. Her purse was on the counter, phone face down beside it. The TV was off. Then I heard it. A creak from upstairs. Floorboards settling, or someone trying very hard to be quiet. Emma, I called again, louder this time. Footsteps fast. Then her voice, high and tight. David, why are you home early? She appeared at the top of the stairs. Hair messy, face flushed, wearing a robe at 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Work sent me home, I said, watching her face closely. Pipe burst. Whole floors flooded. Oh, that's too bad. I started up the stairs. She didn't move. Just stood there, blocking the hallway. You okay? I asked. Yeah, fine. Just wasn't expecting you. I reached the top step, looked past her toward our bedroom. The door was half open, and the closet door, the one that's always shut because the latch is broken, was swinging just slightly. Back and forth like someone had just closed it. Emma, I said quietly. Why is the closet moving? Her face went white. It's the AC vent. It does that sometimes. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was shaking. I walked past her. She grabbed my arm. David, please don't. I pulled free and pushed open the bedroom door. The room was a mess. Sheets tangled, pillows on the floor. And the closet door was still. Too still. I walked toward it. David, please. I grabbed the handle. There's nothing in there, she said, voice breaking. I swear. I pulled the door open. Standing there, pressed against my hanging shirts, phone in his hand like he'd been mid-text, was a man I'd never seen before. Shirtless. Jeans half-buttoned. Face frozen in pure panic. For 3 seconds, nobody moved. Then he said the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Hey man, this isn't what it looks like. I stared at him, then at Emma, then back at him, and I started laughing. Not angry laughing, not bitter laughing. The kind of laughing you do when your brain can't process what your eyes are seeing. You're in my closet? Yeah. Hiding? Yeah. In my closet? He nodded. I looked at Emma. She was crying now, mascara running, hands shaking. How long? David, please. Let me explain. How long? She swallowed. 6 months. 6 months. I turned back to the guy in my closet. What's your name? Connor. Connor. I nodded. Connor, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get dressed and get out of my house. He didn't move. 10. He grabbed his shirt. 9. Fumbled with his shoes. 8. Emma was sobbing. David, please, let me explain. 7. Connor pushed past me, half-dressed, and ran down the stairs. The front door slammed. I stood there in my bedroom. My wife behind me. The closet door still open. And I realized something. I wasn't angry. I was relieved. Because for 6 months, I've been planning something she didn't know about. And Connor just made it a whole lot easier. If you want to know what I've been planning and why I started laughing when I should have been furious, keep watching. Because what happened next turned her affair into the biggest mistake of her life. My name is David Thompson. I'm 39 years old. I'm a systems engineer for a manufacturing company in Columbus, Ohio. I work long hours. I travel sometimes. I make good money. Not rich, but comfortable. I've been married to Emma for 8 years. Or, I was married to Emma. Let me back up. 6 months ago, the same time Emma's affair apparently started, something else started. My company got acquired. Not a hostile takeover. A merger. Clean, corporate. The kind where they send out a press release and everyone pretends it's good news. For most people, it was just a new logo on their paycheck. For me, it was different. Because buried in my employment contract, the one I signed when I started 7 years ago, was a clause I'd forgotten about. Section 14.3. Equity acceleration upon change of control. Fancy words for, if the company gets sold, your stock options vest immediately. I had 50,000 options, granted at $2 per share. The acquisition price was $47 per share. Do the math. $2.25 million before taxes. But still, I was sitting in a conference room when HR explained it. They walked through the paperwork like they were reading a grocery list. Your options will vest on the closing date. You'll have 90 days to exercise them. We recommend speaking with a financial advisor. I nodded, smiled, shook hands. Then I went to my car and sat there for 20 minutes, staring at the steering wheel. $2.25 million. Life-changing money. The kind of money that meant I could quit my job, travel, start over. The kind of money that made me realize I had choices. And the first choice I made was this. I didn't tell Emma. Not because I didn't trust her. Or maybe that's exactly why. Things have been off. For months, she'd been distant, distracted. She'd started going to the gym more. Bought new clothes. Changed her hair. All the classic signs. But I told myself I was being paranoid. You're overthinking it, I'd say to myself. She's just taking care of herself. But then there were the late nights. The girls' nights out that happened more and more often. The way she'd tilt her phone away when I walked into the room. The way she'd started sleeping on the far edge of the bed, like I was contagious. I didn't have proof, just a feeling. And that feeling made me hesitate. So when HR told me about the $2.25 million, I made a decision. I'd wait. I'd watch. And I'd see what happened. I started paying attention, not in a creepy way, just noticing. I noticed she'd started wearing perfume to the gym. I noticed her girls' nights always seemed to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the same days I worked late. I noticed she'd bought lingerie I'd never seen her wear. One night, I checked the credit card statement. There it was, a charge from the Marriott downtown, $247. I asked her about it. Oh, that was for Lisa's bachelorette party, she said without missing a beat. We got a room, so no one had to drive. Lisa got married 2 years ago. She blinked. Different Lisa. I nodded. Didn't push it, but I screenshotted the statement and I started building a file. I didn't hire a private investigator. Didn't need to. I'm a systems engineer. I know how technology works. Our cell phone plan had a family tracking feature. She'd set it up years ago so we could see each other's locations. For safety, I'd never used it. Until now, I started checking it. Casually, just to see, and the pattern was clear. Tuesdays and Thursdays, when she said she was at the gym, her phone was at the Marriott. For 2 hours. Every time, I didn't confront her. I just documented it. Screenshots, dates, times. I opened a separate cloud account she didn't know about and backed everything up. And I waited. The acquisition closed in January. My options vested. $2.25 million minus taxes left me with about $1.4 million in my account. I moved it immediately. New bank, new account, open in my name only. Emma never noticed. Why would she? She never looked at our finances. I handled all of it. I kept working, kept coming home at 6, kept pretending everything was normal. But inside, I was planning. I met with a lawyer. Quietly. I think my wife is cheating, I told him. I want to be prepared. His name was Robert. Mid-50s. Divorced twice. He'd seen this movie before. Do you have proof? He asked. I slid the folder across his desk. Screenshots. Credit card statements. Location data. He flipped through it. Nodded slowly. This is good. Really good. What do I do? You wait, he said. Let her make the first move. File first if you can, but don't tip your hand. And the money? What money? I told him about the stock options. The $1.4 million. His eyebrows went up. She doesn't know about it? No. Good. Keep it that way. Ohio is an equitable distribution state, but if she doesn't know about it, she can't ask for it. Is that legal? Is it ethical? Debatable. Is it legal? As long as you disclose it if asked directly. Yes. He leaned forward. But here's the key. If she files first and doesn't ask about it, you're not obligated to volunteer it. I sat back. So I just wait. You wait. You document. And when the time is right, you move. I waited 3 more months, watching Emma get sloppier and sloppier. And then came the Tuesday that changed everything. Stay with me. I waited 3 more months. In that time, Emma got sloppy. She stopped hiding her phone as carefully. She started coming home later. One night, she didn't come home until 2 in the morning. Where were you? I asked. Lisa's. We lost track of time. Which Lisa? She paused. Does it matter? I guess not. But I checked the location data. She'd been at the Marriott again. I added it to the file. Then came the Tuesday that changed everything. I was supposed to work until 6. Normal schedule. But at 2, a pipe burst in the building. Water everywhere. They sent everyone home. I texted Emma. Heading home early. Pipe burst at work. No response. I didn't think much of it. She was probably at the gym. Except when I checked the tracking app, her phone was at home. I pulled into the driveway at 2:47. Her car was there. Front door unlocked. And that's when I heard the creak upstairs. Standing in my bedroom, staring at Connor in my closet, I felt this strange calm wash over me. This was it. The moment I'd been preparing for. Emma was sobbing behind me. David, please. I can explain. Explain what? I said, not turning around. Explain why there's a half-naked man in my closet? It's not. I didn't mean. How long, Emma? I told you. 6 months. I finally turned to look at her. 6 months? The whole time? She nodded, tears streaming. And you were going to tell me when? I don't know. I didn't know how. You didn't know how to say, hey, David, I'm sleeping with someone else? She flinched. I walked past her, down the stairs, into the kitchen. She followed. Where are you going? I'm getting a drink. David, please. We need to talk about this. No, I said, opening the fridge and grabbing a beer. We really don't. I cracked it open, took a long drink. She stood there, shaking. What are you going to do? I looked at her, really looked at her. 8 years of marriage. 8 years of thinking we were building something. And she'd spent the last 6 months tearing it down. I'm going to finish this beer, I said. Then I'm going to pack a bag. Then I'm going to leave. Leave? Yeah. For how long? Permanently. Her face crumpled. David, no. Please. Emma. My voice was calm. Too calm. You've been cheating on me for 6 months. You brought him into our house. Into our bed. Into our closet. I know. I know. I'm so sorry. I don't care. That stopped her. What? I don't care that you're sorry. I don't care that you're crying. I don't care about any of it. I set the beer down. I'm done. I went upstairs. Packed a bag. Clothes, toiletries, laptop. Emma followed me the whole time, begging. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. I'll end it with Connor. I swear. His name is Connor. I almost laughed. You're throwing away 8 years for a guy named Connor? It's not about him. Then what's it about? She opened her mouth. Closed it. You don't even know, I said. I zipped the bag. Walked downstairs. Grabbed my keys. David, please. I stopped at the door. Turned. I'll have my lawyer contact you. Your lawyer? Yeah, for the divorce. Her face went pale. You're not even going to try? Try what? Try to forgive you? Try to rebuild trust? Emma, you had 6 months to try. You chose Connor. I opened the door. I'll be at a hotel. Don't call me. I walked out, got in my car, and drove away. I didn't go to a hotel. I went to Robert's office. She cheated, I said. I caught them in my house. Robert leaned back. Do you have proof? I have him in my closet on my Ring camera. I pulled out my phone, showed him the footage. The doorbell camera had caught Connor arriving at 1:30. Caught him leaving at 3:15. Half-dressed, running to his car. Robert watched it, smiled. This is good, really good. What do we do? We file tomorrow. We ask for everything. Everything? The house. The cars. We cite adultery. We make her the bad guy. And the money? What money? Robert smiled. She doesn't know about it. So it's not on the table. We filed the next day, and Emma's world started falling apart. But mine? Mine was just beginning. Keep watching to see how this played out. We filed the next day. Emma got served at work in front of her colleagues. She called me 17 times. I didn't answer. She texted, we need to talk. I replied, talk to my lawyer. Her lawyer called Robert 2 days later. My client would like to discuss a settlement. I'm listening, Robert said. She's willing to split assets 50-50. She keeps her car, he keeps his. They sell the house and split the proceeds. No, my client wants the house. And given your client's infidelity, we think that's fair. There was a pause. She can't afford to buy him out. Then she can move. Another pause. We'll need to see his financials. Of course. We'll provide tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements. All accounts? All marital accounts. Robert was careful with his words. The stock option account wasn't marital. It was mine, earned before the marriage, vested during, but never commingled. Emma's lawyer didn't know to ask about it. The divorce took 4 months. Emma fought for the house. Lost. She fought for alimony. Lost. She tried to argue that I'd hidden assets. Robert showed that every dollar in our joint accounts was accounted for. The stock option account never came up because she never knew to ask. In the end, she got her car, her retirement account, and half the furniture. I got the house, my car, and my freedom, and $1.4 million she didn't know existed. 6 months after the divorce was final, I sold the house. Couldn't stand to live there anymore. Too many memories. Too many ghosts. I bought a small condo downtown. Modern. Clean. No closets big enough to hide a man. I quit my job. Started consulting. Set my own hours. I traveled. Italy. Japan. New Zealand. I did all the things Emma and I had talked about doing someday. Except now I was doing them alone. And honestly, it was better. 1 year after the divorce, I got a message on LinkedIn from Connor. Hey man, I know this is weird, but I wanted to apologize. What happened was wrong. I'm sorry. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed, did she cheat on you too? 3 dots. Then, yeah, 2 months after you guys split. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Sorry to hear that, I wrote. But not surprised. Yeah, I should have known. Anyway, sorry again. Appreciate it. Good luck. I closed the app and realized something. I didn't feel angry anymore. Just free. 2 years after the divorce, I met someone. Her name was Sophie. She was a teacher. Divorced. 1 kid. No drama. We met at a coffee shop. She spilled her latte on my laptop. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's fine, I said, laughing. It's waterproof. Still, let me buy you another coffee. We talked for 2 hours. She didn't ask what I did for work. Didn't ask what I was worth. She just talked about books. About her daughter. About how hard it is to date after divorce. I liked her immediately. We went on a second date. Then a third. On the 4th date, she asked, so what's your story? Why'd your marriage end? I thought about lying. Making it vague. But I didn't. She cheated. I caught her. I left. Sophie nodded. Mine too. Except I didn't catch him. His girlfriend called me. Ouch. Yeah. We sat there. 2 people who'd been burned, trying to figure out if we could trust again. I'm not looking for perfect, she said. I'm just looking for honest. I could do honest, I said. And I meant it. 3 years after the divorce, I got one last call from Emma. And what she said changed everything about how I saw the whole situation. Don't go anywhere. 3 years after the divorce, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello, David. I recognized the voice immediately. Emma, what do you want? I just wanted to talk. We don't have anything to talk about. Please, just 5 minutes. I sighed. Fine, 5 minutes. There was a long pause. I'm sorry, she said. For everything. For Connor. For lying. For hurting you. Okay, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. You're right. You don't. Another pause. I heard you're seeing someone, she said. I am. Is it serious? Why do you care? I don't know. I wanted to make sure you're happy. I almost laughed. You wanted to make sure I'm happy? Yeah, Emma, I've been happy for 3 years. Since the day I left. Silence. I have to go, I said. David, wait. Goodbye, Emma. I hung up, and I realized something. I didn't feel anything. No anger. No bitterness. No regret. Just nothing. She was a chapter in my life that was over. And I was okay with that. For years after the divorce, Sophie and I got married. Small ceremony. Just family and close friends. Her daughter Lily was the flower girl. She was 8. Took her job very seriously. At the reception, my dad pulled me aside. You did good, son. Thanks, Dad. I mean it. You handled that whole thing with Emma with class. A lot of guys will have lost their minds. I shrugged. I had a plan. He laughed. Yeah, you always do. We stood there, watching Sophie dance with Lily. She's good for you, Dad said. Yeah, she is. You tell her about the money? Yeah, last year. How'd she take it? She said, that's nice. Can you still take out the trash? Dad smiled. Keep her. Yeah. 5 years after the divorce, I got one more message from Emma. It was short. I heard you got remarried. Congratulations. I hope you're happy. I stared at it for a minute. Then I typed, I am. I hope you are too. I hit send. And I meant it. Not because I forgave her. Not because I forgot what she did. But because holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I'd spent 5 years building a new life. A better life. And Emma wasn't part of it. So here's what I learned. When you catch your wife cheating, you have two choices. You can explode, scream, break things, make it ugly, or you can stay calm, document everything, plan your exit. I chose the second option, and it saved me. Not just financially, though the 1.4 million helped, but emotionally, because I didn't let her chaos become my chaos. I didn't let her betrayal define me. I just moved on, and that, more than anything, was the best revenge. Tell me in the comments. And if you've dealt with something similar, share your story. You're not alone. Subscribe for more stories about standing your ground and reclaiming your life. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever had to rebuild from nothing, if you've ever chosen yourself over someone who didn't choose you, this one's for you. Because sometimes the best thing you can do when you find someone in your closet is close the door and never look back.